If you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, you need to be excited for the second half of this season. After last night's Thursday night football game, your quarterback, Kenny Pickett, has a lot of promise. And he was real close to having one of those elite games that we'd all been talking about today, saying how elite his performance was. Welcome back to Mic Drop Sports, everybody. I'm Jason. Thanks for stopping through. Kenny Pickett showed me some things last night. His performance may not have been stellar across the board, but again, he comes back in the fourth quarter and proves his toughness, fighting off a rib injury. Still able to deliver for his football team. Still able to get the Steelers in the win column. And that's really all that matters if you're a Steelers fan. The Steelers have a quarterback. And I know a lot of people are doubting Kenny Pickett right now because of his very, very pedestrian numbers. However, Kenny last night was just 3 or 4 throws away from having one of those performances that we'd have been talking about for a couple weeks. One of those types of performances to where he'd have lit up the scoreboard. He had one touchdown that would have been to George Pickens if Pickens would have just drugged that toe and realized where he was, how close he was to the boundary. Then he would have had another touchdown to Allen Robinson if he'd have just got it up about 5 inches. Then he would have had another touchdown to a Calvin Austin if he wouldn't have underthrew him. He overthrew George Pickens once. That would have been a big run after catch. There was a lot of things to look for in last night's performance that make me really excited. And if you're the Steelers, they should be excited. And if you're Matt Canada, you should be excited. Because you know Kenny Pickett is really just a fraction away from being elite in my eyes. Because he already has the ability that you can't teach. And that's the ability to be tough and turn off the noise and turn down the lights and not let things get too big for him and come back in the fourth quarter and deliver for his football team. That's something you can't teach, and he has that. The rest of it you can teach. The rest of it you can kind of breed into him a little bit. But Kenny Pickett is growing right before our eyes, and I don't think everyone really truly realizes that. Kenny Pickett's performance last night may not have lit up the scoreboard or the stat sheet, but it lit up my eyes because I could see what's to come. When they come into this game against the Green Bay Packers next weekend, I think Kenny Pickett's going to have a performance that's going to be his best as a Steeler. I think he's going to have multiple throwing touchdowns. I think he's going to have several hundred yards. I think it's going to be the first time the Steelers crack the 400-yard mark in a football game in a very long time. And actually the whole entire Matt Canada era. I think it's time for the Steelers to really, really put one together. And last night showed me that they can do it. And that they're just a couple plays away. A couple throws away from putting one of those types of performances up on the board. Matt Canada being on the field last night mattered none, in my opinion. I think it may have made Kenny a little bit more comfortable, or maybe allowed the offense to be a little bit more comfortable, and allowed maybe a little bit better communication. I don't know. But I don't really think it made a huge difference. But Matt Canada being down there maybe provided excitement, maybe. Maybe it let the guys know, hey, this guy's behind us. And I did see last night Matt Canada scheming some good plays. That throw to Deontay Johnson was all Matt Canada. That was a perfectly schemed play that was ran to perfection and executed well on the field. That underthrow to Calvin Austin was a perfectly schemed play. Just executed slightly poorly by Kenny Pickett with the underthrow. Those are the little things that the Steelers got to clean up. And I'd rather keep winning. Whenever you're playing your worst football and you're still in the division race and winning football games under a quarterback that everybody says sucks, but yet here you are, 5-3, right in the race, right there with the division leader in the Baltimore Ravens. You're right there. And you have a quarterback that everybody says sucks. Really. Kenny Pickett doesn't suck, folks. Kenny Pickett isn't horrible. Kenny Pickett will be a good quarterback in this league. And I feel like Kenny Pickett is about to put it all together. And if you go back and watch all those highlights, watch how he's grown throughout this season, I think you might agree with me if you really look into the details. But after next week's football game, if Kenny Pickett doesn't have a monster game and a great performance, however that may end up being, I'll eat crow and I'll admit that Kenny Pickett is a flop, in my opinion, because I think the Green Bay Packers are ripe for the picking. And I think, no pun intended, picking. Yeah. But anyway, Kenny Pickett is definitely able to destroy this Green Bay defense. Kenny Pickett is definitely able to have that big game that he so desperately needs. And it's just going to build that confidence as you're heading into all these big divisional games. And that's what you need if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, confidence. And when the Steelers made that adjustment last night to the offensive line, I felt like they found a combination of players that will work. And now I think you need to leave it alone. And I don't think Broderick Jones should come out of the lineup again. He's proven that every time he gets put in, no matter what position, he's good. And he can play. And he is serviceable. And he does good things. And you can't take him out if you're Mike Tomlin anymore. You're going to look like a clown if you do. He's your best option. No matter where he is, he's your best option right now. Period. Chooks was having trouble. I don't know if he's really truly injured. I don't know. But Broderick Jones really come in and provided a spark. Then you had Jaylen Warren providing a spark. We said all week on the channel how he needed to have a big game and that he was going to have a big game, and he did. And he really had a coming out party, if you ask me. And if you couple all those things with Kenny Pickett now starting to gain some confidence and having the ability to trust in some of his players, I think you're asking for good things. And I think that there is going to be good things that happen. Because Kenny Pickett can now make some big strides and be comfortable and start to really, really grow. And I think we're going to see a string of big football games from your quarterback. And I think the Steelers defense is going to get a little bit of rest because the Steelers offense is going to start doing some business and start handling some things and giving that defense a little bit of rest and allowing them to recharge their batteries a little bit to where they don't have to carry this football team. Last night, the Steelers put 20 points up without the help of the defense scoring, which, bright sign in my eyes. But guys, let's finish this video up, and really I want to emphasize this before I sign off. Kenny Pickett will be okay. Kenny Pickett is starting to do big things. And if you're a Steelers fan, be excited because it's going to happen, guys. I'm calling it right now here at Mike Drop Sports. Mark it down today. Mark this video down. And if I'm wrong, come at me in the comments. Really, come at me. But I'm telling you today that last night's performance was a true indicator to me that Kenny Pickett can get it together, and he's fighting off a hard rib injury. That's hard to throw with that, guys. Rib injuries are the worst. They're the worst injury you can have as a sportsman. They're hard to do anything with. Breathing, talking, it hurts. And if you're trying to throw a football at a high velocity and really get a football drop with some drive behind it, it's hard to do, guys. I guarantee you, if you've never had a rib injury, I don't wish that on anyone because it is truly a pain in the butt and it truly hurts. And it's something that Kenny Pickett really showed me some toughness last night fighting through an injury like that and still able to come back in the fourth quarter and guide his football team to a big victory, keeping them 5-3. But guys, be excited. Things are about to change. The offense is about to start moving. The defense is going to continue to get better. As they get Minkah Fitzpatrick back eventually, they'll even get more exciting to watch. The secondary has its issues, but Joey Porter Jr. was a stud last night, showing off that he can be a lockdown corner. You have some rookies emerging. Darnell Washington proved too with his one big catch that he could be reliable to gain a tough first down if need be. You're going to get Pat Freiermuth back. Things are just going to continue to look up for this Steelers team as they grow, and I think the handcuffs are finally coming off. And I think that they're going to let this young football team start to really wreak some havoc in the AFC. And you're about to see a run that we haven't seen in the city of Pittsburgh for quite some time. And I think the days of just being satisfied with 500 ball club are about over because I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have arrived, especially after last night's performance. And some of you may doubt me. Some of you may say, oh, you're full of crap, man. You don't know what you're talking about. But I'm telling you, I've watched this team grow all year. I've watched them for many years. This is one of those years that I think the Steelers have the right formula, the right personnel, and I think they're going to have a little bit of luck on their side to just make one of those nice little magical runs that gets this fan base excited again for the football in the city of Pittsburgh. All right, guys, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit that little red button. If you are subscribed, share the videos, comment on the videos, give me your opinion on the videos, and let me know what you're thinking about this Steelers team. But mark this down that I said the Steelers are about to go on a big time run and look really, really good and look way different. Please mark it down. Please. All right, guys. Until next time, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace.